Okay, for this project, I thrifted this picture. It's a plastic gold frame, but it's an oval frame. I don't think the print is that bad, so I'm going to try to paint it first. If I don't like, I'm going to try to paint the frame. And if I don't like it, I may just end up changing out the picture, but first I'm going to try to paint it with a paint color that I mixed earlier this autumn with Dixie Belle paints, and I have a video on how I did that. But this is the custom color that I'm going to be using to paint the frame. I got this at a thrift store or garage sale, I think, and it was $3. So I'm going to go ahead and get started painting. Before I paint, I'm going to go ahead and give it a good clean with some cleaner. Alright, so I went ahead and took the picture and the glass out, and I've cleaned the glass really well, and I've given the frame 2 coats of that custom color that I made earlier this autumn. And now what I'm going to do is, it has some like little bitty rose detail, like little rosebud details along the side, and I'm going to use Dixie Belle Mud Puddle, and I'm just going to barely dry brush around and see what I think of that, just to add a little bit of dimension and hopefully highlight these little rosebuds. If I don't like this color, I might add some Magnolia, the color Magnolia by Dixie Belle. But first of all, I want to try this color and see what I think. I might go along the edge here too. Alright, so I've dry brushed the whole frame with the mud puddle color. I still think it needs a little something else, so I'm going to be dry brushing just like what I'm calling the little rosebuds with the color Magnolia. Okay, so I wanted to show you what I'm doing. I accidentally got a little bit more paint on here than I wanted to for the Magnolia color. So I'm trying something a little different. I am spraying it with water and thinning out the paint while it's on here, and then I'm just kind of moving it around the frame with my little paintbrush. And I'm just going to go all the way around the frame. This isn't what I had planned on doing, but I think it looks kind of cool. It's kind of fun. I don't know if you can see like the water moving. Just moving the paint around and almost making it like a glaze almost, if you can see that. The lighting might be bad out here today, but that's what I'm doing. I just have a little bit of paint where I added just a little bit too much, and I'm just spraying it with water, and then I'm just moving it all around the frame just to give it a different look. It's not what I expected I would be doing, but I kind of like it. So I'll see what it looks like when it dries, and if I don't like it, I can always repaint it. But don't be scared of your paints. You know, you can fix your mistakes, and sometimes they turn out to be better than your original plan. Okay, so I have thrifted several of these little like cutting boards, and I use them in projects, and I'm going to use one today, and I'm going to be painting it with the Fusion Buttermilk Cream paint. I'm not like a big yellow fan, but this color really isn't too bad. It's like a little bit lighter yellow. And I'm just going to give the whole cutting board a coat of this paint. All right, so I purchased these napkins at a garage sale. It looks like they bought them somewhere, and then I bought them for $1. But I thought they were really pretty, and I like the crackle underneath. So I am not like the best at decoupaging with napkins, but I'm going to open these up and I'm going to give it a try again and see how it turns out. I really do think there are some beautiful napkins out there. And sometimes I have trouble with the decoupaging of napkins, and sometimes I don't. I feel like if I use a glue stick, that works the best, but then for me, if I am wanting to put a top coat over the glue stick, then that just does not work out for me. So I'm going to be trying the Dixie Belle clear coat in the flat finish again today. Right now I'm just taking off the extra plies that come on the back of the napkin. I believe there's only one on here, but I am going to double check because I have done that before. Started decoupaging and there was another layer on there, and that's not good either. So I'm going to double check that and I will be right back. Okay, so I think I'm good to go, and I really like this napkin too because I can actually do the whole cutting board with that napkin. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the Dixie Belle Clear Coat Flat, and I'm just going to try to put a very light coat on there and see if that helps. Now I'm just going to use a little bit of the Tim Holtz Distressed Ink in Walnut Stain, and I'm just going to go around the edges of the cutting board. Okay, so hopefully you can see this because this is a pretty large piece, but this is a time card holder. I don't even know, maybe some of you haven't ever seen a time card holder. I'll get a time card in a little bit and show you, but this is what would hold the time cards so you could clock in and out at your work. But I got a few of these at an auction. They were very inexpensive, maybe $1 a piece, or they might have been like a couple of them for $1 plus tax and the auction fee or whatever, but they were very inexpensive, and they're really good to hold tags and envelopes and time cards for junk journaling. And so I have some of this decoupage paper. It came from Roycycled decoupage paper. It was in one of Sonnet's Makers boxes, And so I have some left over, and I am going to decoupage the clock on here. And then I have stamped out some words on a cardstock paper, and I'm going to put on mine, time to create. So if you ever see one of these out, and maybe they're very slender, so they don't take up very much wall space, really, and they are really good. I'll show you at the end of the video for time cards and envelopes and that kind of thing if you are a junk journaler, or if you're not, there, you know, there's something else that maybe you could hold in here. I'm not for sure, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and decoupage these things on, and then at the end of the video I will show you what mine looks like. And I did spray paint this one with an ivory spray paint because they don't look the best usually, and so I have spray painted this one. I'm sure there's still a few places that might have these, but this is what a time card is. And they would just go in these slots, and usually like your number of your, like your employee number or your name would be on there. And then there would be something that hung on the wall, like a little machine, and you just slide your card in there and it shows what time you clock in and out. So I'm sure a lot of you know what that is, but some of you may not know. But that's what a time card holder is. Okay, so here are the finished projects for today. Sorry if you see any glare in the glass. But there is the frame. I really like it. It gives it a real vintage look. I think it's way better than what it started out at originally. And here is the time card holder. It could hold tags, the time cards, envelopes, anything that you can think of really about that size would be great. And then there is the cutting board. I've added just a little bow to the top. And I am very happy with the way everything turned out today. Let me know if you have a favorite project that I worked on today. And thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a great day. Always remember, it's time to create.